are the photographs that they encounters. Although the mainframes of the structure survived their event, but still many buildings received their damage for their so-called secondary element, which is something like the ceiling or air conditioning or furniture, that kind of element in the building. And this photograph show you the damage of their smoke exhaust system. In the right hand upper photograph shows that the disconnection of the machine and the smoke exhaust duct. So if the building had been on fire, this system would not be able to work. So a very dangerous situation. And even though the damage of this building were light, not heavy, but still in this case, the piece of the ceiling hit the production line of the factory, so factory start working. These photographs show the damage of the soccer stadium, and the ground sinkage happened. And this is kind of a damage of the in office. This is not a rare case. So many offices we have this kind of trouble. And the files fell down, and cabinet and partitions, they fell down. But no people were injured. That was very lucky. So the question was, didn't we learn from the Kobe earthquake? What happened in Kobe January? Let's take a look. Okay, these are the photographs of the Kobe earthquake, and mainly the main frames of the structure received the damage, heavy damage. And because we have concerned deeply about the structural mainframes, we didn't pay much attention to the secondary elements. And actually, the damage of the secondary element were hidden in the structural damage. And the total building, whole building fell down on the street. Okay, this is a history of the learning. And each event, at each big earthquake, we have been revising our seismic code and get to now. So what happened in the secondary building element during the event? Okay, this is a typical sectional diagram of the room. And here you have a ceiling, and their air conditioning duct hang from the slab. And if the braces are not enough, they tend to be shaken in their own particular frequency. So the motion of the different elements tend to be different, so they hit each other and receive the damage each other. And we use, ordinary cases, we use a clip system, very small piece of clip to grasp the ceiling frames from their hanging channel. And if one clip tear off, then their clips around the damaged clip will be torn off, one after another. So finally, the total ceiling fall down. This is right now the guess of the reason of the damage. This is not the conclusion, and this is not the observed result. But right now, we are thinking, and we are revising our finishing code. And also, it can be said that since the damage of the mainframes in the Kobe earthquake was so heavy, we didn't pay attention to the secondary element, and we somehow left our building finishing code uncertain, and we didn't carry out our finishing rule thoroughly enough to withstand this kind of architecture event. And this is a map of the 3 cities along the Pacific coast which received tsunami. I picked up this 3 cities, for example. And this is a hazard map of Iwanuma. And the blue area was supposed to have tsunami over the first level floor. And the yellow part is supposed to be a flood for the basement, its basement, only the basement. And in same scale, this is a reality that we faced. The blue area is an area that all the building washed away, and the red area was covered by seawater. This is a hazard map of Sendai, and this is a reality that we faced. And the blue area, all the building were washed away, and the red area was covered by seawater. And this is the Ishinomaki hazard map, and the green spot scattered in the inland area, showing the refuge evacuation center for the people. And actually what was happened was this. And almost evacuation facility were left in the tsunami area, and so many people were swallowed in the tsunami. This is a diagram of the city, and the lower part is a very convenient place for the agriculture and also fishing port. So people want to live the lower part, but we have the stone monument at a 60-meter high with an inscription saying that don't build your home below this point. This was erected 100 years ago by survivor of 100-year-old tsunami. And at that time, the tsunami reached at the 38-meter, and this time also tsunami get to this point exactly. This is a real stone, that photograph of the real stone. I introduce you some comparison of the lateral forces caused by earthquake and tsunami. Please take a look at the left hand bottom. If your building is concrete made and 6-story, roughly calculation though, 6-story high building, and the tsunami was 3-meter high, then the lateral force can be balanced. But if your building is smaller or tsunami is bigger, then your building cannot survive. This is a rough diagram of the nuclear power plant. In front of the nuclear power plant building, here you have a mound whose height is 10-meter high from the sea level. And this is the countermeasure for moderate type of tsunami which was expected as 5-meter high, but actually the tsunami was 14 and 15-meter high. So we lost their power source for cooling system. And we invited this critical situation right now. This is a diagram showing that the sea water reached the backside of the plant. This is the covering project which Takenaka Corporation is now participating to. The mainframe, this structure is to prevent, preventing the radioactive materials from scattering in the air and prevent the environment from being polluted. Mainframes of this structure is made of the ready-made structure for scaffolding work, and the covering material is tent material. And the most complicated work for this project is not the upper frame, but the basement, because this base here is filled with the rubble polluted by radioactivities. So it is it takes time and it takes labor under such dangerous situation. But we can make it. Okay, I would like to introduce you the seismic structural system, which we now adapting. This is a simple frame, and it is easy to be shaken if the frame is soft. And the seismic resistance system is to make the structural frame stiffer to withstand the seismic lateral force. And this is most conventional and common and reasonable cost method. And this is my recent work, and 4-story high and concrete made, so this building adapted this system and successfully survived the event. This is a seismic damping system, and you have the motion absorber in the middle, and this utilizes the viscous liquid to transfer the motion energy to heat energy to dampen the motion. And the Pacific Century Place building, high-rise building, adopted this system. And also, this is a photograph of our new headquarters, and which adapted this seismic damping system. And this is a quite unique system because this the simple steel material works as a shock absorber to transfer the motion energy to heat energy. This is seismic active damping system. The sensor picked up the motion of the ground and make a mirror topological motion and give that motion to the mass damper at the top of the building to make the building balanced. This is a movie, and suppose that the base is your ground, and it moves at the event, and the machine makes the mirror topological motion and give the upper element, so the pencil didn't fall down. This is our experiment film. This is the last is a seismic isolation system. This system, the building mainframe is isolated from the earth, so that the building mainframe receive the minimal lateral force from the ground. And Prada Aoyama adapted this system, and the newly finished Belgian embassy took this system. And the quite big facility, Takeda Pharmaceutical Research Center, took this system too. And they received no damage. And this is quite unique system, stepping system. This is very primitive, but this transfers the horizontal motion to vertical motion to dampen the motion. This is a quite rough diagram to show what the minimum requirement by the law is. The grade 1 is a minimum requirement by law, and the horizontally, the strength of the earthquake is shown, and vertically, the damage level is shown. And here, if you have big earthquake, the ordinary structure received a very heavy damage, but still must ensure the people's life. That's minimum requirement by law. Okay, the learning from the earthquake. This is not my bad English, but the Julius Caesar's word. Men gladly believe that which they wish for. For the cities, in the cities along the Pacific Ocean, they had a planning evacuation planning with the expectation of 5-meter high tsunami, which is